Who was the most unexpected person to have your back? Mine was Delilah Morrison, the meanest substitute teacher in our district. For 3 years, every kid at Roosevelt Middle School lived in terror of her. She'd stride into classrooms wearing those thick-soled shoes that announced her arrival from 3 hallways away. Her gray hair was pulled into a bun so tight it seemed to stretch her face into a permanent scowl. She never smiled, never praised anyone, and treated every student like we were personally responsible for ruining her day. When she substituted for my 8th grade English teacher, the entire class would go silent. She'd slam her briefcase onto the desk and scan the room like a general surveying enemy territory. "I don't tolerate nonsense," she'd announce. "Speak when spoken to, work in silence, breathe quietly." Everyone hated her, including me. That changed the day my stepfather showed up drunk to pick me up from school. I was waiting outside the main entrance when his rusted pickup truck swerved into the parking lot, music blasting, exhaust belching. He stumbled out, clearly intoxicated, and started yelling my name across the courtyard. Other kids stopped to stare. My face burned with embarrassment. "Get in the truck, Phoenix," he slurred, weaving toward me. I'd been living with this nightmare for 2 years since Mom remarried. At home, he was unpredictable. Sometimes ignored me completely, sometimes raged about everything I did wrong, but he'd never shown up at school like this. "I can walk home," I said quietly, hoping to avoid a scene. "Don't talk back to me," he snarled, grabbing my arm hard enough to bruise. "Get in that truck right now." I could smell the alcohol radiating from him. Kids were recording with their phones. My stomach twisted with humiliation and fear. That's when I heard those unmistakable heavy footsteps behind me. "Release that child immediately." Delilah Morrison's voice cut through the parking lot like a blade. My stepfather turned, still gripping my arm. "Mind your own business, lady. This is my kid. No intoxicated adult is taking any student from the school," she said, moving between us. "Phoenix, step back." Something in her tone made me obey instantly. My stepfather's face darkened. "You can't stop me. She's coming with me. Watch me," Delilah said, pulling out her phone. "I'm calling the police and the principal. You can wait for them or leave immediately." "You old..." "Choose your next words very carefully," she interrupted, her voice deadly calm. "There are 30 witnesses here, and I've been teaching for 40 years. I've dealt with worse than you." For a moment, nobody moved. Then my stepfather released my arm and stepped back. "This isn't over," he muttered, stumbling toward his truck. "It absolutely is," Delilah replied. After he drove away, she turned to me. For the first time ever, her expression was gentle. "Are you hurt?" I shook my head, fighting tears. "Come inside. We need to call your mother." In the principal's office, Delilah sat beside me while I explained the situation at home. She asked careful questions, took notes, and never once made me feel judged or embarrassed. When Mom arrived, panicked and apologetic, Delilah spoke privately with her about resources for families dealing with addiction. Before leaving that day, she handed me a piece of paper with her personal phone number. "If you ever feel unsafe, call me," she said. No questions asked. I never needed to use it, but knowing I could made all the difference. My stepfather left 3 months later. Mom said it was because he couldn't handle the scrutiny after what happened at school. Years later, I realized Delilah Morrison wasn't me. She was protecting us. All those strict rules and sharp words were her way of creating safe spaces for kids who needed them. At my high school graduation, I spotted her in the audience. When our eyes met, she nodded once and smiled. Finally,